In this video, I'm going to show you how to add some axes to a custom plot that you might have started up. So I've already run through this here, which started a new plotting region and put a grid on it just so we can see where things are. And I put a two-chunk margin, I'll call it, on every single side there. But maybe I want to have some numbers showing up along these edges here. So I can add some axes to these, and these will show up out in the margins. So the way I can add some axes is I can use this axis command. And now the axis command starts out by taking 1, 2, 3, or 4. 1 means put an axis down on the bottom, 2 means on the left, 3 means on the top, 4 means on the right. I'm going to just start with 1. And so if I run this, it actually gives me an axis down along the bottom there, and it just fills in the values that it wants, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. If I want to actually customize what shows up down along the bottom, what I have to do is tell it where I want to put things, and then I have to tell it what I want to put there. So I'm going to say in this case at equals 0 to 10. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is where I want to put things. And then I want to put labels there. And in this case, I want the labels to be 0 to 10. They don't have to be 0 to 10, but I'll have it set up like that. And then if I run this, you'll notice everything fills in there. Now what you will notice is 10's not showing up, because what R doesn't like to do is think things are going to overlap each other. So if it thinks something's going to overlap, it'll tend to leave it out. So what I can do, if I want to get around that, sometimes if I just change the size of the label, I can get everything to show up in there. So I'm going to use this extra option called cex.axis, and I'm going to set that equal to, say, 0.7. If I run that, it made them a little bit smaller, and what I got right there was every single value I want. Now what else I can do with this is I can adjust exactly where the axis is. You'll notice this right here is 0, but there's this extra line here because it likes to put the axis on the outside a little bit. Maybe I want to shoot it up some. So I'm going to use this POS option, position, and I'm going to say I want it to be positioned at 0. And so if I run this, it split it up so now you can't actually see the axis sitting there, but it's overlapping with this line in this way. So that gives me an axis on the horizontal side. Maybe I want to put an axis on the left vertical edge. So I'm going to copy this line over, and I'm going to do almost all the same things here. I'm going to scoot this over a little bit just so I can have this there. And I'm going to change this to 2. And so now I get 2 axes, and they're both overlapping. So I don't see that line there because I have both these positions set to 0, and I shrunk both of these. Now what you might not like is the 0s through 10 are sort of rotated in an odd fashion. So there's this option here, LAS, and I can play with this, and if you change it, it'll change the rotation of things. So it changed it like that. If I change it like this, nothing happened for me in that case. If I go back to 0, it goes that way there. So you can just try different values and it'll do it there. 1 actually did the nicest thing for us and gave us something where everything's sort of readable from straight ahead. Okay, so that's how you can introduce an axis or axes to an existing plot.